Number 7. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
You must be delighted about that. I mean, it must be a very different experience, no matter how successful you are within a group, to be one of an ensemble and then to find yourself out there at the front.
Yes, it's quite a jump to make. I'm thrilled. I didn't expect to get so much success so soon. Yes, it looks very good at the moment. I'm very pleased.
Now, we were discussing while we were looking at the film there. In fact, there's a story in the Daily Mirror today saying that you're nervous.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Well, you see, you have to read these things. Sorry, was it your paper? No.
Yes, saying you're nervous about going on a world tour. That's overstating the case slightly, isn't it?
I'm not really nervous, but I want to do it right. No, I don't think nervous is the right word. But it's a challenge, and it's quite... It's something quite thrilling to look at because it's totally new. I have a clean slate. I can do what I want, you know, and I want to make sure it's done right. So rather than just plunge in and make a fool of myself, I want to sort of go somewhere and work on it. Same as the band did, you know, same as Queen did in the early days.
Is there a sense that really it's such an act to follow as well, that you don't want to go out on a limb and be criticised afterwards? You want it to be a really good show, because Queen were absolutely renowned for being showmen, with the ultimate showman at the front.
Yeah, well, people pay their money, you know, and you really... You have an obligation to do something special, I think. Yeah, it's not enough to just shuffle on and say, well, this is what I do. You know, you go for it, and I think that's the way we've always been, and I don't want that to change.
Yeah, obviously, everybody wants to know whether you will play together again, or whether Freddie's tribute concert was in fact the last time that it's likely that we'll see the remaining 3 members of Queen playing alongside one another.
I'm sure at some point we'll play together again, but I don't think we can be Queen anymore. I really don't. I don't think it makes any sense without Freddie. You know, it was, and we always said if any one of us went, Queen wouldn't be a viable proposition anymore. So no, and I think in a way it's time for us to move on. You know, we were in this wonderful self-made umbrella for a very long time, and it's in a way time to grow up, and I'm up for it.
The album, you've called it Back to the Light. I mean, obviously the 2 years when you were writing it, a very difficult time. Freddie had been very ill, and then, as we all know, had died. Is there a sense in which it is a transition from the past to hopefully a happier time and a completely new set of objectives in your career?
Yes, it actually took me longer than 2 years. I've been working on this album for at least 5 years, and some of the stuff goes back even further than that. But yes, for me it's a sort of clearing out. You know, all this material has been there in different forms, you know, and little pieces of tape around the studio, you know, and finally it's all on a piece of plastic, and that makes me very happy, yes. So having cleared that out, I want to be able to move on, yeah.
It's well documented. The Driven by You, which was great success as a single, started off as a car commercial.
I was very lucky to have that vehicle. Vehicle.
Oh dear.
Thank you. Yes, very pleasing.
Now, what about this one? Because it's completely different from anything I've ever heard from you.
Yeah, this one I've lived with for the 5 years that this thing's been going. Yes, it's been in my head for a long time. And it's nice to get it out, and I will be glad to get past this one in a way. It might seem a strange thing to say, but some things sort of haunt you, you know, and this song's quite important to me, and I'll be glad to get it out of the way.
What inspired this one, then?
Depression, I suppose. And songs are a very good way of taking things out of something inside you and putting them there so you can see them and work on them. And it's not just about me, it's not just about one particular instance. It's a song, you know, which I crafted and worked at, and I'm quite proud of. And I hope that being a song, it will mean something to a lot of other people. That's what it's all about.
Happier times ahead from you. I'm sure you can't go wrong with it at number 7 in the charts. We'll see a little bit more of you later on, Brian. Thanks very much for coming in.
All right. It followed me around, actually. It was in Eleuthera, this tiny little island, and we escaped to Miami and then we got out of Miami an hour before they closed the airport there. It was very scary. Very scary.
I was going to say, we joke, well, we don't joke, but we're a trifle flippant about it, because we've never really experienced anything as bad as that. What was it actually like to be on the fringe of it?
It was awesome in the true sense of the word. I've never experienced anything like it. I was walking on the beach in Eleuthera at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was due to hit at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and already you get this incredible electricity in the air, and the wind's getting up in the trees, and the sea starts to froth. And I was pretty scared, I've got to tell you.
Did you drive away from... You drove?
No, we had to get a plane off, which was very difficult. Very difficult, and suddenly things become very inhuman and people start to panic, and the whole sort of fabric of this nice, easy existence breaks down. Amazing how fragile it all is. Even Miami, you know, this wonderful big airport, you think, well, in an hour's time this is going to be closed, and in fact, you know, you saw airplanes upside down and windows smashed, you know.
And now, Tim, Tim Robbins, they're slagging off George Bush because they say he didn't react fast enough, and yet it always appears to me that they're badly advised. It's probably because he's been badly advised. He's probably told it wasn't quite as bad as everybody expected, and that's why he moved slowly.
Well, I have a theory about this, though. I mean, I have a feeling George Bush doesn't want to be anywhere near a natural disaster because, well, never mind.
Because he's always near.
Well, I don't know. I should shut up. That could get me into trouble. But the fact is that they were not very well prepared. There is an organization called FEMA, and it's the Federal Emergency Management Authority, and they just completely blew it down there. And so, you know, you should be able to anticipate things.
We all know about Brian, but if you become a sort of almost an establishment success figure, as this becomes the biggest, highest-rated movie in Hollywood history, then what will happen to Tim Robbins, the man who writes this bleak black satire?
What are you implying? What?
Will you sell out?
Can you be bought?
Well, no. I don't think. First of all, I think that it will achieve a certain success, but it's not. I don't think it's Lethal Weapon.
All right.
It's not base enough for that.
I hope we'll never actually see you with a laser gun in your hand, Tim. You could live to regret these words, you know.
Well, listen, if I have to support my family at some point and pick up the laser gun, I hope that I hope I'm a bad aim.
Tim, thanks for joining us. Good luck with Bob Roberts, which opens in Britain almost the same time as it opens in America, which is about right now.
Yeah, good luck.
And good luck with your single.
Thank you, sir.
Which remind us of the name?
Which is called Too Much Love Will Kill You.
Don't look so depressed. And James.
Maybe.
Chelsea striker that we do know about.
Yes,
Thanks for joining us.
absolutely.